Hello everybody, good day to you and welcome back. Glad you guys are here. This is a 2004 Ford Taurus. It's a sedan, 4-door, 24 valve, dual overhead cam, V6. I think it's a, I think they had a 3-liter, 4-liter in these things. I gotta check, it might be a 3-liter U motor, that's a U VIN code. This particular Ford Taurus, an oldie but a goodie by the way, has approximately, oh, I don't even know. It doesn't even tell me the mileage yet. Hang on here. Check brake system. It's got that. That's not why it's here. Where's my mileage? I don't even know, guys. I'm not prepared to do this video today. Check brake system again. Can I have some mileage, please? I don't even know, guys. Where is it? Where's the mileage? There we go. 109,772 miles on the odometer. Technically 0.3 miles on the odometer. Got that from the trip. Anyway, it started when we hit the key. Customer states that intermittently the vehicle will not start. There we go, we got it. No crank, no start. Does not run. Not sure what's going on with it, but we need to figure out how to get it started again and get her in the shop. Try to restart it again, see what it does. Are you gonna? There it goes, okay. So it does start sometimes. I didn't hear a click when it didn't start, so I'm not so certain that we have an issue with the starter motor. But we do need to get this car into an operating condition, a reliable operating condition, and we need to do that as quickly as possible. This car is the only car that these particular folks happen to own, and they very much need it. Our customers are concerned that in the event of an emergency, late night trip or anything really, they can't get the car to start reliably, and that is a concern for them. So we're gonna try to diagnose this situation and see if we cannot figure out what is causing that no cranking condition on this particular Ford Taurus. See, it just started again, but there was like a delay in it, and then it kind of cranks. So I'm not sure if we have like a relay problem or a fuse problem or a starter problem. Yeah, it's going reliably now. Okay. Anyway, let's get out of this thing, pop in the hood, take a look down below in the engine compartment and see if we can't see anything obvious that's staring at us in the face. And if not, then we'll get a little bit deeper until we can figure out what's going on here. I'd like to get it into a condition where it's more reliably not cranking. So I want it to be reliably not reliable. That way we can properly diagnose the cause of this no crank situation on this car. There's no crank, no start, and then get the thing fixed up. So stay tuned, because this is going to be a very good video. Opening the hood. Look who that guy is. All right, back again, and we are not cranking. See that? It's not doing anything. I know the ignition key is trying to crank it because the fan blower shuts down when we hit the key, and then the chime will stop also. Additionally, there we go, got her again. Okay, so it does crank and it does start very unreliably. Okay, let's see if it's gonna do it again. Starts, yep. All right. Re-shut down. Let's hop out, check the engine compartment for obvious defects. We're gonna look for battery terminal connections. We may check relays and fuses and things of that nature. See what we can come up with here. And yes, this is the 3-liter dual overhead cam V6. This engine has been around forever and was in production for I think almost a decade. It's a really good engine. Well, it used to be. It could have been. It still is. The ones that are still out there, those are good engines. So anyway, battery terminals appear to be fairly clean and tight. I don't think that is the issue. Let's check for a starter, relay, fuse. No, there's no IDs on that. Okay. I don't think it's a relay. I don't know if that starter runs. No, it doesn't run off a relay because it's got the solenoid on the starter motor itself. So there's no relay there. Where is our starter motor? Might need to find that. All right, looking down kind of on top of the transmission here. I'm trying to take a peek for that starter and I don't see it. down in there. I'm not seeing where the cables go. There's the cables coming off the battery, so let's see if it's down here under this fuse block. Yeah, there's a red cable coming in. There she is. Yeah, that's our starter motor. So we've got that red cable coming down from the battery. That's the power supply to that big solenoid. See that, move that flashlight. See that little round canister thing behind that hose? That's the solenoid on the starter motor. And then behind it, where I'm shining the light, that is the starter motor itself. If you look real close, you see that wire convolute right there attached to the front of that solenoid. That convolute is the exciter wire from the ignition key that closes the contacts in that starter solenoid and then turns on the electric motor, which then sends the gear out to contact the flex plate and then turns the engine around, and then the engine starting sequence can begin. What I want to do is I'm going to get a test lead on right there on that exciter motor wire, or solenoid wire rather, and we're going to put a meter on that, or a test light, and we're going to check to see when we turn the key if that wire is getting power. That's only a relevant test if we can get this thing into a condition where it's not cranking. So I basically want to see if the key and everything after the key is telling the starter to start the motor. If it's always telling the starter to start and the thing still does not start, we may just have an issue with the motor, or it could be something else. So let's go fetch a test lead real quick, hook the thing up, and then we'll get it tested. Here we go, wire lead coming in. It's the big long one. I made this out of alligator clips and just some, what is that, like 14 gauge wire? Yeah. So it's a homemade extension. I do have other not homemade extensions, but they're shorter, and I'm gonna need some space on this one. So what I need to do, there's a little tab down there on that wire. I'm gonna try to get this thing attached to that tab. I know you guys can't see. I can feel it with my flangey tips, and I'm just gonna reach in, clip that guy on. There we go, we're clipped. Let's visually inspect our work down there and make sure we're not grounding that thing out or something. That looks good. You guys see that down there? We've got the connection made to the starter. Now let's test our connection. We'll take our other side here, and we can jump that straight over to battery positive, and it should cause this engine to crank. So here we go. Yep, see that? But the ignition key is turned off, so we can crank this thing for days and it still is not gonna run. Ground side doesn't matter, but that's definitely the correct wire, okay? Leave that right there. Continuing to construct our testing apparatus, I brought a regular, just a brake light bulb here. It's a, what is that thing, a 3057 bulb? Yeah, pretty standard brake light bulb, dual filament. What we're gonna do is attach the blue lead right here to one side of these terminals, and then I'll attach one of these other leads to the other side, and then we'll ground the other side. So what'll happen is when we crank the key, it's gonna send power to that power wire, the one that goes to the starter. That power is gonna come back up this wire, go through the light bulb, and the light bulb will give us a visual representation to whether or not we're getting power down there. Well, what I'm looking for is the moment when the starter doesn't crank, but the light bulb lights up. If the light bulb is gonna light up, that means there's power going to the solenoid, but the solenoid is not closing, and that will indicate a faulty solenoid. If we cannot find where the light bulb lights up and the starter does not crank, then that means that the starter's not the problem and there's something else going on, because that would indicate that there's no power being sent to the starter when the key is commanded on or off. So let's get this thing connected real quick, and then we'll begin to continue testing. Okay, light bulb coming in, test lead coming in. Connect that right there, and then we'll take the yellow and we're going to attach that here to battery ground, like so. Actually, real quick, let me test the light bulb before we begin the starter solenoid test here. Bear with me, folks. It's got to be thorough on this one. So what I'm going to do is we'll just attach both sides and then connect that to positive. There we go. See that? So we've just completed a very simple circuit. Ground lead, positive lead, we've got our load, and our load is functioning. Very good. So now we can take this lead off, and we will connect the long lead going down to the solenoid. There we go. We'll leave this thing Actually, we're gonna take this with us because I need to go into the cabin and hit the key. So we're just gonna stretch this around and stick it right up here on our windshield. There we go. You stay right there. Let's hop back into the cabin. We're gonna hit the key and nothing. See that? Look at that. So now we have no starter actuation and we do not have the light bulb lighting up. Okay. Nada, nada. Oh, we had a click. There we go. Did you see that? Light was on while it was cranking. Okay. Let's just wait until the thing fails again and then we can continue testing. So I don't believe that it's the starter because we saw that that light was not illuminating while the key was being turned, which tells me that power is not being sent down to that starter when it's being commanded. That's what I think. One more time here, try it again. Nope, it's not doing it. Why? Okay. A few minutes later, and we're back to the no crank condition, and we can see during our no cranking that the ignition key is producing a response. We're losing our chime, yet the light is not illuminating. Okay. Alrighty, let's hop back in. I just got back out of the office and quiet beeping noise, ding, 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 shut up. So anyway, I went into the office, I pulled up all data, and I have printed out the circuit diagrams for the starter assembly. And let's see what we've got going on here. Let's find our ignition switch. Here we go. There's our ignition switch. It sends power to the smart junction block through fuse 21. I think fuse 21 is good. Sends more power because the thing does work. So we can assume the fuses and the wires are good because we do end up, well, maybe not the wires, could have a partially broken wire. But it does complete the circuit intermittently. So we have, oh, we do have a starter relay. Look at that, starter relay at the junction block. Did not know we had one of those. That must be the relay for the solenoid. Yeah, let's find our starter motor here. That's our power to the solenoid. That's the big red wire that we saw earlier. This is our starter motor assembly, which means this pink white wire here, that is the one that commands the solenoid closed. There's our solenoid represented right there, and then that runs the motor. So we're losing power somewhere between here and here because it's not actuating this ignition solenoid. We could be losing ground somewhere, but I don't think we do. Those are pretty good looking grounds on that battery. And I didn't check the engine ground just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that the engine ground is good. Everything else seems to work. Body ground seems to work. All the components in here seem to work. The only thing that doesn't work is intermittently it doesn't start. So what I'm looking at here, I'm thinking it could be a relay issue, but I don't know. We have a relay here and digital transmission range sensor. So that's oh yeah, that's the neutral safety switch, commonly referred to as neutral safety switch. But that's the range position sensor. That's the one that tells the ECM what gear position you are in. And if this thing is not in park or in neutral, then it will not allow the engine to crank. Okay, I want to be able to hold the key and let it and keep that no crank condition. I think we have a bad neutral safety. It went through eventually. And the neutral, it doesn't start here either. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's go jump under the hood and check that neutral safety switch out. Maybe it's got a bad connection at the connector. I think it's in there because when I was holding the key and then wiggling the shifter, it should have been moving that neutral safety switch around some, and that could have allowed that switch to close contact and then and then it made connection with the starter. So it's either got a faulty one, perhaps it's adjustable. Let's take a look down there and see if we can't locate that unit. I believe, according to the diagram there, it's on top of transmission somewhere here. Let's find the shift cable, because the cable is going to run down from the shifter. I think that's it right there, right down past the brake reservoir. See some of the cable? So that runs over, and then it connects to the shift lever. We're looking at that right down here, and yeah, there it is. That's the range selector switch slash neutral safety switch right here. That's the connector on it. Let's disconnect that connector real quick. Oh, that's that thing's on there too. I don't know if I can get that off. Feels kind of stuck. Feels very stuck. Okay, pry bar trim tool coming in. Need to just push on. I pushed the tab down and I felt the tab depress. So need to just kind of work this connector back some. There we go. Just want to inspect the pins in there. Ooh, it's full of green stuff. Is that corrosion? Yeah, there's all kinds of something in there. What is this? There's liquid in there. Bad connection. That looks very corroded in there. Okay. It's not good. Not good at all. I'll tell you what, we need to get some more access to what's going on down there. Regardless of what I find or don't find, I can't reach what I'm trying to reach. So I'm going to pull this intake off of here. A couple hoses and one screw right here and a band clamp. Let's pull this guy off just to give me some more access to what we're trying to work with. Let's see, we've got one clamp, worm gear clamp. Unscrew you, pull that out, air box out. All right, now we've got a little bit more space here to tinker with this. Let's see what we've got going on. Yeah, there's some green looking whatever, something in there. There's definitely corrosion. Let me get some battery corrosion remover stuff to spray in there, and then we'll blow it out with some electrical contact cleaner and try to clean that business up right there. Okay, I've got some NOCO battery terminal service. It's an anti-corrosion foaming kind of business here. Spray that into the connector. Let that kind of soak in some, then we'll blow it out and then spray it out with some electrical contact cleaner. Let me try to get some in that neutral safety switch while we're at it. There. All right, let's let that stuff hang out for a little while. Let it soak in, do its job, then we'll clean it out. Be right back in a minute. X amount of minutes has passed. The corrosion preventative stuff has subsided and all the foamy bubbles are gone. So I'm gonna come in here with some electrical contact cleaner. That stuff stinks too. Just spray all that out. Let me turn the fan. I don't want to breathe this garbage. Spray all this stuff out of here. Clean these up as best we can. That's good. Alright. Blow some air in there to blow out the rest of any debris we may have missed, and then we'll plug her back in and see what happens. Blow gun coming in. And in the connector. Yay! Alright, let's plug her back in and see if we get an improvement in system operations here. There we go. Alright, back to the cabin. I don't want to set any service engine lights, so I'm going to reinstall this intake tube real fast and plug in the mass airflow sensor. That way the ECM doesn't recognize that the map is disconnected and set a code and all that good stuff. Then I gotta clear it. That's good. I'll plug you in right there. There. All right, let's go recheck it. See if it's gonna crank or if it's not. Maybe we will get away with a no component repair. Or in part, cranking. Okay. El Natural. Nah. We lose. So, it's still not doing it. Or it's still doing it. Put it in park. Okay. Interesting. So, I hit the key and hold it for a little while, and then it wants to crank. Maybe that thing's out of adjustment. Let's try to adjust the neutral safety if we can. And if that doesn't work, then, well, I don't know. Then we'll move on, test something else. So it does appear that that can be adjusted. Looks like it's bolted down with 2 8mm bolts. Let me go fetch a little ratchet, and we can see if we can adjust that thing some. Perhaps the cable has stretched for the shifter, and it's not fully contacting or closing that neutral safety. That could also be an issue. And again, if it's not, maybe we have a faulty neutral safety. If that corrosion made its way down the pins, it could be corroded inside of that switch, and that may be the cause. Let's grab an 8. The Ocho. Come here, 8. And the orange one. I like the orange one. I think that was an 8. Yeah, if that corrosion went on, it could be down inside of those little, inside of that switch. And if it's in the switch, then there's no saving it or cleaning it. But we can at least try. Unconnect that. Second one over here, that should just be the 2. Let's just give her a little bit of a turn. See that? It rotated some. Let me lock it back down. Right there and right there. Okay, let's put the intake back on. Haphazardly. Get on there. Get all the way on there, intake tube. Roll. It's not getting on there. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Yeah. There we go. All right. Real quick, before you get too crazy with this, I need to rule out the starter relay right now, because I'm really thinking that this is an issue with, I think these are it. I think it's that one. I think it's an issue with that range position selector switch, so we're gonna do the relay swapping game. I think that's the starter. Let's go look it up in a second. But so what we did is we took this relay from this position, moved it over, took this one from this position, moved it over. So we did a relay swap between the fan, I think it's a fan or a horn, to the starter. So let's switch that over. I'm gonna run to the computer real quick, double check that, and then we'll go back and try to hit the key some more and see if we can't get it to fail to crank. Here we go, starter relay, components, locations, and low speed fan control, starter relay, there we go. So yep, that was right. I thought it was the horn. Where is the horn? There is no horn here. It is non-horny Taurus. All right, so we swapped over starter relay and the low speed fan circuit relay. So the if that is a faulty relay, then the symptom should be gone. If the symptom remains, I just broke my light bulb. If the symptom remains, yeah, that was an error. I don't think we need that anymore anyway. Let's get rid of our lead. Cost me $4. Yeah, so if the symptom is there, then that tells us that the relay is still good, and then we can refocus back on that neutral position slash safety switch. So we'll just keep hitting it here until it does wiggle that some. Nope. Let's try neutral. There's neutral. See that? Watch this. Let's see if I can't hit this with the holding it. Watch here. Oh, it didn't. It's not going. Well, it's not the relay. I'm assuming we have a range safety switch issue. So we clean the connect. There it goes. Look at that. It started. Okay, it's not the relay. We switched the relay. That's not it. I think we have a faulty range position selector. Let's go get one ordered. I'm gonna swap it out and then see what it does. Let's lose this air box one more time. Disconnecting mass airflow. Pull the tubing out, get you out of the way. Hello, range selector switch / neutral safety switch. Now this will be fun because this is adjustable in a couple locations here. Oh, come on now, come on, plug. What are you doing? It was unplugged. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that corrosion has migrated past the pins and into that little switch there. So that's our cause of this this business. What I'm going to do, let's get in a little closer here. What we do is we do not disconnect the lever from the shift linkage right there. See in the back, we do disconnect the lever from the stud that comes out of the transmission and passes through this switch. So we're gonna put, it looks like a 14 on there, and I'm gonna hit that with an impact. The reason I'm gonna knock that off with an impact is I don't wanna put a regular ratchet on it or a wrench and then have all of that force of me trying to break that bolt loose end up being transmitted into the cable. But if I put an impact on it and then I hold on to this, the impact will be so shocking that it'll break that nut loose real fast, and it will not fatigue the cable, because I don't want to break a cable with a wrench. So let me grab my 3/8 and I think it's a 14 millimeter, and then we'll buzz that thing off and then pull that switch off of its housing. We have the long extended wobbly bit 14. I think it's a 14. It's a 13, but you know what? I don't want to walk back, so we're just gonna buzz that off with the 14, see what happens. So what I'm gonna do is I'll reach down and hang on to that lever, and then hit that with some reverse impacts, and she comes right off. See that? That's our nut. Set that aside right here. And I'm going to take the lever. We're gonna wiggle it some, pop it off of the stud, and we'll just set that aside. So now we can go in and pull those two bolts out, the ones we had used to adjust this. Disconnect you, spin these guys out, and then swap the new sensor out. I have the new one. It just arrived a moment ago, so it's here behind me on the fan waiting. Pull these 2/8 out. Oh, those are tight. Yeah, I can't get them by hand. We're just going to do the meticulous ratchet back and forth maneuver. Getting bored yet? Back and forth, back and forth. Lots of corrosion on these threads too. Oh, no you don't. Yeah, I dropped it, then I pushed it farther away. Oh, come here. Come here. Got you. I don't like losing my fasteners, bolts and nuts, cotter pins, everything. But I'm all butter fingers. I'm assuming this is gonna pop up and off of that shifter stud. That stud is coming out of the transmission. It comes up from the linkage internal, and it actually, let me get this off of here, I'll show you. It's a better view if I can remove it. Looks like the switch is kind of stuck to it. Yeah, it passes through the switch. So you see the stud there, that comes up, and when that stud turns, that's actually what changes the shift position mechanically in the transmission. This thing just lines up with that stud with these little notches here, and then when that stud is turned, it turns the inside of this switch, and that changes the electrical connection between the contacts. And speaking of the contacts, look a little closer. You can see a boatload of corrosion in there. See all the green? That green nasty looking business? Yeah, that's all corrosive or corrosion. I'm fairly certain that it migrated into this switch. Maybe we can break this open later and take a look. In fact, we will break that open and take a look. We'll do that at the end of the video. First, I want to fix the guy's car. So what we need to do, make sure these are all in the same positions here. They look good, it all lines up. Pins are the same. Look at that. that pin is bent down. See that one? One of those is bent. I must unbend it. That would have been fun to plug in. Bunch of bent pins, yeah. Anyways, now come back in here and we'll slide this guy down over that little that stud coming out. See that? So we're up and over, and now I may drop in the fasteners and then tighten this guy back down. I'm going to try to put it in the same position that I found it, because that stuff is all fairly calibrated. I may have to adjust it afterwards depending on whether it cranks or not, or hopefully it'll be fine the first time, but you never know. Things happen. It could have also been adjusted before, perhaps to compensate for stretch in the cable. We'll figure that out in just a minute when we get these bolts tightened down some and we get that lever attached. We'll put it right there in the middle. That's what I likey. That's what I want. Da, 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 da. Okay, that one's kind of tight. I'm not going to fully lock these down yet because I probably will have to adjust it somehow. But we are going to get it a little tight. That way it can't move when we move the shift lever. And we're running out of threads. It's bottoming out right here. That's tightish. Let's plug her in. You know, when I saw the listing, when I looked up the part for this, the switch here, they also had a listing for the connector. So I'm assuming this was a common problem. So if they're selling the connector to go with it, that means that they're failing simultaneously. Anyway, our nut is back on, coming in with the wrong size socket. I'm holding the lever over here to make sure again that we don't fatigue the shift lever, or the shift linkage, the cable rather. Okay, that guy's installed. Let's throw the intake back on one more time and hit the key and see if this thing fails to crank at any point in time here. It's either gonna work or it's not. We'll figure that out in a minute. Plug that in so we don't get a code. There we go. Looking good. Get that out of here. Back to the cabin. And we're in park, beginning engine starting sequence now. Okay, well, that's one good restart. Let's wiggle this around. Another. That's good. Let me move this shifter around. I'm gonna try to get it to fail. Nope, not failing. Let's try neutral. See if we can get it to fail in neutral. So all the way down. Okay, that's the bottom of neutral. It starts. That's the top of neutral. It starts. Bottom. Starts. Let's try to pull it past. Okay, right there it stops, but if I let it relax to neutral, okay, let's try park. Park's the one that really matters, so we're gonna hold it in park, pull it all the way up. It starts all the way down. I'm starting to kill the battery. I just killed the battery, you guys. Too many restarts, the battery's dead. Oh no! Yep. Ha ha! Yeah, I killed the battery. Too many restarts. Let's go bust out the charger, recharge this thing, and then recheck it. Yeah, what was that, like 10, 15, 20 restarts with no runtime in between to keep the battery up? Oopsie. Rolling, rolling, rolling. get that charger rolling. Negatory. So what I'm gonna do, we'll throw this thing back on the charge, get this ever start, never start Walmart action. Yeah, you like that? Let's touch those together. Feed 200 amps to it. We'll get the never start reconnected. Over here cracking myself up. We'll do 25 amps for as long as I want. Anyway, what I was saying is while that thing's restarting, I think we are in a good position to assume at this point that this thing is going to be in good condition. So I want to, or that it's repaired. So I'm going to tighten up those last bolts down there that I snugged up but left them kind of loose. I'm going to tighten those real fast. We're going to put this intake back on, let the battery recharge, and then we can do a series of retests and checks. I cannot speak properly right now. And if we find that it starts without fail, then this operation is a success. I'm very confident that what we have found here was the cause of this failure. Get rid of that. But we still have to verify. And since I killed the battery while cranking and retesting, I have not yet verified, but so far we're looking pretty good. Let's get that out of here too. It's been about 15 minutes with this battery on a charge. Let's go try to aggravate the situation a little bit harder and see. Get on there, stupid clamp. I know, 8mm. Let's go see if this thing's gonna fail to crank. I think we got it. I'm pretty sure we got it. I just need to try to recreate all those conditions as best we can. Yeah, she's gonna start every time. Pretty sure we got it here. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's do it like this. We'll hold this all the way up, cranking, and without pulling it into reverse, we'll hold it all the way down, cranking, yep, anywhere in between. Okay, it's not failing to start anymore. I'm pretty sure we got it, 100%. Yep. Let's go take that old switch, take it over to the bench, break it or drill it or open it up and see if we cannot identify any carnage slash damage inside of it. Alrighty, so it looks like this component it's a two-piece type of clamshell thing, and they have it riveted together. So we're gonna have to drill those rivets out in order to extract, or to disassemble rather, this component here for additional inspection. Now keep in mind, there's not a snowball's chance that this part is going to be usable after I drill these rivets out. So don't tear open one of these thinking you might find the damage and hoping that that's going to be a good result for your inspection. So what I'm saying is, if you're not 100% confident that this part's no good, don't drill the thing open because you can't put it back together. I mean, you could try, but it probably won't work. Yep. So we're over at the bench on the vise. We're gonna go ahead and drill this unit open right over here. Let's get our drill bit set up in the drilling unit. There we go. We're just gonna drill these rivets out. That was all the way out. I didn't need to drill them that much. Just need to drill the head off them. Ring! That's broken. It's a really good drill bit. It doesn't drill rivets out, it drills right through them. Down, annihilated, destroyed. Ending of rivet. Let's crack this case open here. See what is going to be inside. Oh, I missed one right there. Thought there was another one. There. And the survey says, what do we have in here? Come here. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. You nasty. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I was right. Looks like all that corrosion managed to migrate its way inside of this sensor. Look at that. That's absolutely horrible. Get rid of that seal, that was useless. So somehow water intrusion got in here, somehow, some way. It was really messing up all the connections inside. That starter was just not able to receive the proper voltage from the ignition key to get this thing to start up. So that's a confirmed kill. I don't need the car to fail. I don't need to continue cranking it. This is a 100% a definite diag and a repair. We got her. That's good to go. All right, guys. Well, we're done. I need to get that thing parked. We're all set. Vehicle is completed. I have nothing more to offer you on this particular video, except to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this video. As always, I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. If, in fact, you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know about that in the comment section down below. Do not forget to tap that like button while you're down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Appreciate you for being here. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad you're here till the end. Don't forget to tap that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Into transmission.